This is a concept that I would like us to promote. Industrial symbiosis is very famous for industrial units that you zone and arrange them so that waste from one becomes a raw material of the other. But the innovation in this project is that we want to apply it to urban settlements so that instead of having materials flowing through the landfill, we are diverting it as much as possible. So that diversion is what creates green jobs, it conserves our environment, and it extends the lifespan of our landfills. So basically that is what I want to talk about here. And the focus will be on two cities, Mombasa and of course Kisumu. So I'm just observing here that Kenyan cities are at a crossroads in their development trajectories. They're facing a lot of challenges, economic, social, and environmental. So faced with these triple challenges of sustainable economic growth, more efficient use of resources, and the need to address climate change, they're being forced to rethink their over-reliance on sustainable linear economic development model that is basically wasteful by design. So you look at what happens in cities. We are taking, making, consuming, and discarding waste. And it's because of that that we have a lot of pressure on our landfill, a lot of pressure on the use of virgin materials. So if we think that, informed by the circular flows of materials in nature, ecosystems, we can be able to create innovative solutions that can protect our virgin materials and also protect the environment in terms of limited landfill. So that's basically the thing. And the innovation is that we proved this for industry. We now want to apply this to urban settlements so that if you have wastewater, you don't treat and discharge it. Can you treat and reuse it so that that improves our water security? If you have solid wastes, what can we do to mine a bit of useful materials from it so that as much as possible we are reducing pressure on the use of virgin materials? So therefore, a switch to the resource efficient circular economy development model is mandatory if these cities are to adopt lifestyles or development pathways that are local, resource efficient, and basically socially inclusive in terms of the creation of decent green jobs. It has been proven in many countries, Australia, maybe Japan, that if you focus on waste, first of all, you try to minimize it at source. Then what is inevitable is that you exchange it, and that exchange creates more jobs in terms of improving competitiveness. So, based on what I do, this is basically what I mean. If it's linear, you have your natural resources, you pump them into a value addition system, you get products and waste. So if it's linear, then that waste goes to the landfill. Doing that will mean that you're putting pressure on these natural resources because they are finite. One day we can run out. Then the waste goes to the landfill. So as you're putting more pressure on the use of virgin materials, you're also filling up your landfill. So there is an international consensus that this is not sustainable. So what do we need to do? We need to go circular. So that part of this waste is diverted from the landfill. And doing that reduces pressure on the finite resources and also avoids problems related with landfill. So basically that's the switch. Having proved to work for industry, we believe that it has been demonstrated in Australia and Japan, that it can also work for other settlements. So basically that is what we want to do for Mombasa and Kisumu. Yes, yeah.
For the cases where it has worked, the circular system,
yeah,
there has to be some amount of waste, even if it's a small percentage of waste. Okay, that's what I'm thinking, just trying to imagine the way the circular system. It hasn't, because I was hoping to see some waste
You know, the ideal situation is that, look at the carbon cycle. Mother Nature is driven by circular flow of materials and energy. And that's why it has been sustainable for generations. So in this kind of thinking, we want to go as close as possible to what Mother Nature does. We might get there, we might not get there, but the intention is to get closer to that. And doing that will mean that you are moving towards sustainability. We might not get there, but you are right. That's the intention, the vision is to go closer to that. And going closer to that will mean that in some cases we can divert completely. In other cases, bigger fractions matter. And as Rob mentioned, this is an area where we need innovation, where people are researching, brainstorming, engaging academia, industry, civil society, just to create solutions to brainstorm. And in cities like Kawasaki in Japan, this has worked for us, whereby massive volumes of organic waste that used to go to the landfill are now being used to create wealth, and of course in local livelihoods. It has also happened in Australia. So that is the drive that we want to put in the Kenyan context and ensure that we are limiting what goes to the landfill, generating methane and greenhouse gases. And as we divert like that, we are using innovation to create wealth, but you add on waste stream. So why is this a problem? We are saying here that relying on this wasteful linear economic development model means that cities have limited resources, which is not true. And that land will always be available for landfilling, a development that is not true for most Kenyan cities. One of the reasons why I've selected Mombasa is that they are having issues with landfill. The Kibarani landfill or dump site or dump whatever has filled up. They want to relocate it, but there are issues. Kisumu City has also the same. They want to relocate it, but people don't want it next to them. So we are having this not in my backyard syndrome challenge. So the best way and most assuring in terms of sustainability is to divert that waste and start using it as a resource. So as a result, Kenyan cities are choking under the burden of pollution. That's very true. Congestion and urban poverty. Right? So the building of sustainable Kenyan cities will require investments in renewable energy. We are tropical countries, but we don't tap renewable energy. Efficiency in the use of water. The classic example is the Uganda case. Most of our cities are water insecure. So we must find innovative ways of making use of water. I always have a challenge in Kenya, in fact, my institution, where we have male urinals, The urinals are designed in such a way that they release 15 liters of water every 15 minutes. That happens, 15 liters, yeah. That happens day and night. So those are technologies we want for because they waste water. And the end result is not available. Must make efficient use of materials and electricity. Our power tariffs are very high. Design and implement the notion of compact cities. We need to move away from sprawling slums like Kibera and have high-rise buildings, 2, 3, or 4. Becomes easier to manage. Increase in green and spongy areas. What I mean by spongy is that let us have cities that when it rains, part of the water can be collected and be used to recharge underground aquifers. So that reduces the flooding potential. Reliable and affordable transport. I was talking to one of the World Bank leading consultants on roads and infrastructure in general. He told me that there is no way you can build roads out of congestion. Look at a bigger highway. When you build it, you say, oh, it's going to help us avoid congestion. But it's not fact. So what do we need? We need a transport mix where people are driving, others are walking, others are cycling. That mix is more sustainable. Countries like Denmark um, moving towards zero waste. And that requires a lot of innovation. We now have things called biorefineries, where you're using enzymes to mine useful materials from waste streams. Those are things that we need. So what are some of my proposed interventions? We are saying that when you go to each of these two cities, the largest consumers of materials and energy and water are basically industries. So we need to promote resources efficiency and cleaner production in city-based industries. So when you go to those industries, say, promote energy efficiency. That will lead to reduced emissions that my brother, Dr. Taylor, will now be happy to listen to. All right? We look at energy, water use efficiency, so that you get more from less water input. When you look at materials, how can we minimize wastage of materials along the process? Then how do we switch to maybe solar or biomass? Number two is adoption of a sustainable transport mix. I've already explained that, so that we have a mix that is more sustainable, largely non-motorized. Promotion of water use efficiency as well as wastewater treatment for reuse. Nairobi, for example, the waste stabilization ponds treat water to a certain quality that is better than what is in the Nairobi River. So such water can be treated as a resource, so that we treat it to a level where we can reuse it. Things like road construction, things like construction of buildings, don't need to use fresh water. Can we have innovative ways of treating wastewater for such purposes? That will boost our water security. Rainwater harvesting. We did a survey in Nairobi using GIS, and we discovered that if there was an incentive scheme for Nairobians to harvest rainwater, then the amount of water collected will support 5 times the current population of Nairobi. So those are some of the things that we want to promote. Promotion of energy efficiency. I'm very happy that most Kenyan companies, because of interventions by Kenya State of Manufacturers, Cleaner Production Center, to some extent, CRIBS yourselves, are now going green in terms of lighting. So we are going for LEDs and so on. So that move is very necessary. It assures us of energy security. Recovery and reuse of useful materials from waste streams. We want to get to a situation where waste is treated as a resource, so that we are using innovation, like I mentioned, to tap useful materials out of that. Embracing intelligent digital solutions, so that we can monitor, of course, floods and storms and what have you, and rely on digital solutions to have early warning systems in place and so on. And of course, embrace innovative urban farming. What I mean here is that food waste, especially from vegetables, is something that happens a lot, and it's likely due to transporting perishable stuff a long time. I visited places in Japan where they have hydroponics, gardens on top of buildings. They're using artificial lights to improve the growth rate and yields of vegetables. And that can be one of the innovations that we can promote this part of the world. So, why the intervention could work? I'm saying here that it's possible to build cities that are in balance with Mother Nature. That means they are resource efficient and zero waste. That's happening to a large extent. Waste should be considered as a valuable resource. And in this part of the world, it's largely untapped. And in essence, waste should not be wasted. In order not to waste waste, we need innovation. And basically, this is the thinking that this project is all about. We want to apply the industrial symbiosis approach to urban human settlements and use that to conserve energy, water, materials, and be able to green our cities and make them livable. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sounds Sounds like
Sit down here. Yeah, I think what you've laid out here is a program for government.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a project.
Yes.
What I would suggest
Yes.
is you need to step back a little bit from the ambition,
Yeah.
which is laudable. The ambition is fine, but in terms of doing something,
Yeah.
if you can go back, I don't know which slide it is, but maybe it's 2 slides back or something like that. Let's say you do the first one, promotion of RECP is
Resource efficient. Clean production.
city-based industries. That is going to disrupt the city system and have impacts on other aspects which you want to intervene on as well,
Yeah.
in ways that you don't know yet. There'll be unexpected things happen because it's a complex system. You can't predict what will happen. So if you're trying to do a sustainable transport mix, as well as the resource-efficient stuff with city-based industries, you may find that the interactions get so difficult to manage, these unexpected things, that it gets, the whole thing gets out of control and you don't know where you are with trying to introduce this symbiosis kind of approach. And that actually it needs a much more careful set of planning around how you engage in trying to see if these things work or how to make them work, rather than try and do all of this at the same time. Instead, what I think, you might be able to do a couple of things, or in a couple of parts of the city to demonstrate and learn and so on, as ways of then inspiring further things to happen. But this brings me to the problem definition again. Mine's the problem definition.
Yes.
Problem definition, GCF. That what I think the problem definition is, actually here, is kind of an abstract one, which can then be operationalized. The abstract one is, the problem is linear resource use.
Yeah.
And the way that you want to solve that problem is to introduce the notion of circular resource use.
Yes.
And that then
Urban
these,
systems,
yeah, in the urban system. And then these are subsystems that you're looking at here with interventions. And the ways in which the circular use of resources, that circularity, that what the word is that you call the whole thing. Symbiosis?
Yeah.
That sort of symbiosis approach is then, in practice, going to look different in each of these areas, or in these subsystems. And so you won't be able to sort of implement the same symbiosis, I'm guessing, the same symbiosis approach in all areas at the same time. It would be way too complicated to do. I think it would be better in terms of thinking of intervention as exploratory, experimental, and trying it out in a couple of subsystems, and see it in that sense. So there's a general, what you expect is a general problem of linear resource use.
Yeah, wasteful linear.
Yeah, that you want to change to become circular resource use. And so you need to then start to try that, experiment with that, test it, and learn in particular subsystems. And then, based on the learning, you can do other, you can expand on those, but you can then start to test other subsystems. I don't think
We agree.
that's
We agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, one of the challenges I had was cost. That's why I was asking the morning, this system, we need to set up boundaries so that we have it in a manageable kind of setup. Agree. Think I can scale down to some pilot or whatever. That has worked very well in Australia, interestingly. And rather than applying it to industry, it's also backing for urban settlements and showing how they are reducing what goes per landfill and using that to, and innovation to add value to waste streams. Yeah.
Intervention here, and then allow the outcomes of the intervention to be able to touch on the other things that you listed. I think you will be much more successful, and I think the idea is novel. You can make a very strong case when it comes to mitigation. The adaptation bits of it are quite clear. Yeah, but as Rob says, for it to be a project, it has to, has a particular scope.
Yeah.
You can't address transport, you can't address, you cannot address the whole, everything into the city. That one will be, if that happens, we can be Canaan.
Yeah.
The Canaan we've been waiting for, we can reach there very fast. So, yeah, very brilliant.
Focus?
Yes, just focus.
And make something good come out.
RESPO is what? RESPO.
Is a resource efficient cleanup production.
Excellent. That's the word, resource efficient cleanup production.
Yeah.
Yeah. That pathway, follow it and then make it grounded in terms of how it can really turn the city to contribute to mitigation and adaptation.
Yeah.
And then allow it now to branch into these other many things. But let your focus be within a particular
Enabling cities to make efficient use of resources.
Maybe just to add to that,
Yeah.
it's a brilliant, but it's quite broad. Okay, like Robert have said, but it would make more. It would be a feasible project if maybe we take one of the issues for Mombasa can be the waste recovery. For Nairobi, it can be the rainwater harvesting, and then for Kisumu, since they started pumping energy, can be the waste recovery. Like just something on it could really, really work well. But of course, the combination of everything is a good idea to pitch while this implementing this particular city. But I think it's a good thing. But yeah, it just needs to be focused and get everything at the time.
Yeah, I think I like that. You can just highlight one key aspect for each city.
And do you have to go for 3 cities for the purpose of a project? Can you focus on one city? Because I think one city, then that can be a pilot that can be replicated.
Sure.
You can make a case that this idea, if it's successful and able to achieve some of the objectives, then it can be replicated. To deal with.
Yeah, sure. I think we can build soon.
You want to do Kisumu, is it?
Because of
it's
the-
close to
No, proximity to Lake Victoria, which has a lot of fisher resources and, very exciting.
But Kisumu has just been rated one of the cleanest cities in Kenya. So anyway,
But it's not secular.
We don't have waste, right?
It's not secular.
But Kisumu is doing well with the energy, with everything.
You-
You could actually think about energy.
yeah, you can complement the agenda, or you can say, you want just to disrupt.
Yeah, those people travelling by rail between Brighton and London for commuting will definitely tell you a very different story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there is a hashtag, network fail.
Oh.
You know, it's network rail. The hashtag is network fail. Basically, the privatisation of the train system in the UK has been awful. And the trains are overcrowded, they're expensive, they run late, there's a lot of problems. It perhaps looks good from the distance, but when you're in the middle of it, it doesn't feel that way. Yeah, we have a lot of problems around transport systems.
What we have been doing for the last 10 years is this.
Promotional.
Yes, resources efficiency in industry. That one we've done for a long time. And something that we need people see why they are wasting and how they can have to get 3 years and things like that.
So that makes a lot of sense down to what you already know about how that's been done.
Yeah.
Thinking about, how, based on the things you've already done, and knowing then what works well, but also that what doesn't work well, is how then to strengthen, broaden, whatever, that stuff in the resource efficiency from production. And, especially thinking in the CRIBS sense, how do you maximise the opportunities that project intervention will create to develop stronger innovation systems, which are much more supportive of resource efficiency and clean production, so that they're able to get much better economic benefits from it, developing much better skills and capabilities in the local economy. What kind of linkages need to be encouraged that have not yet been established. So thinking in that broader system, how can we now use the experience you already have, an understanding of how to do this to make it even better, and think of it in those systems.
Yeah, I think that's something is doable.
And then, sort of Nairobi or Mombasa, wherever it is,
Mombasa
starts to become that
says
kind of
Kisumu is
iconic
very
example.
Kisumu has no problems.
Mombasa, you can come for holiday.
Yeah.
Assess how CRIBS is working.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because then it becomes one of those examples that in presentations in the rest of the world, people are saying this is what they did in Mombasa.
Yeah. And I look forward to partnering with labs on this,
Yeah.
so that we polish it out nicely and then see how it goes.
Okay, good.
So I think if our cities can close the loops in terms of solid waste material flows, then we can have a head start in terms of going green. But as of now, things are just moving through the system, take, make, consume, dispose. That's not sustainable. We need to see how to divert, move from that linearity to circularity. And Mother Nature gives us a lot of lessons. So it's stable for all these years because everything is circular. Carbon cycle is circular. Nitrogen cycle is circular. So trying to mimic that is a very noble thing to do. So what I'll do is incorporate your comments, then we start moving.
Well, actually, I was thinking for tomorrow,
Yeah.
because there's still work to do, I think, to define problems.
Yeah.
And I think although you've actually probably the furthest ahead, let's say, I think you still do some on that. I think we should use tomorrow to get everybody to that point before we get into project details. Because otherwise the project details then are more likely to be confused because the problem definition is confused.